Corbin Carroll is off to a fantastic start, putting up impressive numbers through the first few weeks of the 2025 season. If he is able to keep up his current production at the plate, he could be a candidate for National League Most Valuable Player. That leaves us with two questions. First, what is the reason behind Corbin Carroll's hot start? And second, is this production level sustainable across an entire season? Let's dive into some of the numbers. For context purposes, WOBA, which stands for weighted on base average, is a statistic that attempts to measure a batter's overall offensive value. Carroll is in the 99th percentile in both expected WOBA and expected slugging. Additionally, he is in the 98th percentile in average exit velocity and hard hit percentage, while also being in the 96th percentile in barrel percentage. A barrel is a batted ball with a perfect combination of exit velocity and launch angle. Simply put, Carroll's production at the plate so far this season is at the top of the league in terms of providing offensive value. Currently, Carroll's swing metrics are elite, but what's fascinating is how much his numbers have improved in these categories compared to last season. His max exit velocity is up over 4 miles per hour, his average exit velocity is up over 6 miles per hour, and his bat speed is up 1.5 miles per hour. Additionally, his launch angle sweet spot percentage, which is a batted ball with a launch angle between 8 and 32 degrees, is up 12.6%. Carroll went from having one of the worst launch angle sweet spot percentages last year, being in the bottom 3% of the league, to nearly top 20% in the entire league to start this season. These are not just small jumps, so there has to be some reason behind the drastic improvements in his metrics. One thing we can point to for sure is an adjustment Carroll made in his batting stance. Made the Cut posted a video about this a couple weeks ago, examining Carroll's stance change and the underlying metrics that followed. Here's a look at his stance last season compared to this season, and we can see a clear difference. He repositioned where he starts his hands, which would lead me to believe that this is one factor that has made Carroll's swing path better. The second point Made the Cut emphasized in their video was Carroll's uptick in exit velocity. We have even more evidence since that video was posted that he is hitting the ball harder than he was last year. Carroll has already hit 5 balls harder than his max exit velocity from last season in just 83 plate appearances. His max EV in 2024 was 111.5 miles per hour, but this year he has exit velocities of 115.7, 111.8, 115.8, 111.7, and 111.8 miles per hour. A jump in production this big can be hard to sustain, especially considering the small sample size, which is why fully buying into early season numbers can be misleading. The advanced bat speed metrics I spoke about, though, are fairly reliable in smaller samples. Thomas Harrigan from MLB.com wrote about this in a recent article where he states max exit velocity can be incredibly telling, revealing a lot about a player's raw power in a single batted ball. If a hitter is suddenly pushing their max exit velocity to new heights, it's usually an example of real physical improvement, because that kind of jump doesn't happen by accident. That is why this is so significant. The areas Carroll has improved on this season are very reliable. If I had to guess, Carroll also probably put in a lot of work on bat speed and swing training in the offseason. His jump in swing-related metrics most likely have not all come just from his stance change, but that adjustment might have been one step toward getting himself in a position where he could work on swinging the bat faster and generating the launch angles that have resulted in more damage for him at the plate. All of this is to say that Corbin Carroll is a great example of a young player who was already good but found an adjustment that could help him continue to get better. He leveraged his raw athletic abilities to improve in areas that make him a more dangerous player overall. Carroll now has the rare combination of elite speed, defense, and hitting, making him even more valuable to the Diamondbacks. It will be interesting to see what Corbin Carroll is able to do across the entirety of the 2025 MLB season. Let me know in the comments any other players that you notice have made strides in their development so far this season.